Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS Academy. Students, please confirm if I'm audible. Please confirm if I'm audible and the screen is visible. Okay, Tushar. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Raj Malhotra IAS YouTube channel. This is the morning session for the Hindu analysis by Komal ma'am. For the time being, for 3 to 4 days, I am taking the session in place of Rahul Singla sir. So let's start. Let's begin with the today's Hindu newspaper, which is very essential for the exam. So let's see what are the important news in the day. First of all, the very important article in today's first page of the newspaper is the employment scenario in Indian grid, says the ILO report. ILO has come out with a report. ILO has come out with a report named as India Employment Report 2024. Named as India Employment Report 2024, which is named as India Employment Report 2024. This report has been published by ILO, that is International Labour Organization. Apart from that, there is another institution, which is Institute of Human Development. Institute of Human Development. This question can be asked directly in the exam, that which organization releases the report named as Indian Employment Report 2024, right? Let us look at the findings of this report. Let us look at the findings or the observations of this reports. Observation of this report. First observation of this report says that about 83% of youngsters are unemployed workforce. They contribute as unemployed workforce. About 83%. See, this is a huge number among youngsters if they are unemployed. This is a matter of concern. This is a situation which is considered to be a concerning situation, right? If 83% of your youngsters in the country are in the part of unemployed workforce. Okay, second finding in this report is there is a trend of labor force participation rate. You must have heard about this term, that is labor force participation rate. Apart from that, there is another term known as unemployment rate. Both these rates is following a trend that from 2000 to 2018, they have seen a trend of deteriorating trend from 2000 to 2018. That means they are continuously falling from the period 2000 to 2018. But after 2019, they have seen an increase, or they have seen their increase or rise in their numbers after 2019. This is the second finding of the report. These findings can be asked directly in the exam, so please take care and you write these. Make sure you write these in your registers. next finding is majority of the workforce has shifted from non from farm sectors to non-farm sectors. What are farm sector and what are non-farm sectors? Farm sectors are the sectors related with agriculture. Therefore, this finding means this workforce has shifted from agriculture to non-agriculture sector. Why? What can be the reason behind that? The reason can be, have you heard about disguised unemployment? Disguised unemployment, which is related with agriculture sector. This disguised unemployed force has been absorbed by this non-farm sector, that is service sector or industry sector. Therefore, the farm sector जितनी भी excess अनएम्प्लॉयड लोग थे वहां पे, उनको ऑब्जर्व कर लिया गया है, एब्जॉर्ब कर लिया गया है in the non-farm sector, that is industry and manufacturing and services sector in India, which is a good thing in itself, right? Next finding of this report is approximately 90% of workforce, are engaged in the informal sector. 90% of the workforce of the entire country is engaged in the informal sector, which is a matter of concern because we should be in the formal sector so that accountability can be there. So that the income that generates in the sectors, that can also be counted, and so on. There are many benefits of being in the formal sector, that you get the social protection as well, social protections, etc. This is the article which says this ILO report ये सब findings के बारे में बात करती है. The most important thing here is the report name is India Employment Report 2024, which is released by ILO and Institute of Human Development, right? If you have any doubt in this article, you can ask me right now. Let's move on to the second article of the day. In the first page itself, there is another article. Yes, this is the article. There is another article which says sensing China threat, India joins Sri Lanka in race for seabed mining, applies for exploration rights. That means there is seabed mining which is currently in news for many years now, and there is a potential question in UPSC exams, whether in prelims or in mains, about seabed mining. Therefore, this article becomes important with respect to IR as well, with respect to economics as well. For GS2 and GS3, this topic is very, very important, seabed mining. Let us discuss what is seabed mining and what this article says to us. This article talks about this seabed mining. This article talks about India has applied for seabed mining in Indian Ocean. But why India would apply for seabed mining in Indian Ocean? Why? This part of Indian Ocean which India has applied for, this is outside India's territory. This is outside India territory. But India still have applied for the seabed mining, first reason why India must have applied is very obvious reason, that means for some economic purposes, economic reasons. What can be the economic reason here? What can be the economic reason here? Can anyone tell me? In the chat box, please reply. What can be the economic reason behind India applying for the seabed mining in Indian Ocean in that territory which is not the part of India? That means this must be rich in minerals. This territory must be rich in minerals. To be very specific, this belt which India has applied for is rich in cobalt. This is cobalt rich belt, and therefore India has applied for seabed exploration so that India can explore for its economic benefit and get the benefit of that exploration, right? And to be very specific, this belt is named as Afghanistan. This belt is named as Afghanistan Nikitin Seamount. Afghanistan Nikitin Seamount, which is cobalt rich belt in the Indian Ocean, which does not come under the territory of India, and hence India has applied for it so that they can get the economic benefit, and we call it as AN Seamount in short. AN Seamount in short to this Nikitin Seamount, right? Second reason why India has applied for, come back to the headline of this, sensing China threat. That means China is present here. Therefore, due to Chinese presence here, India also wants to be here, so that India protects its sovereignty here and have all the rights. Yes, polymodalic nodules as well, but due to Chinese presence, that means some diplomatic reasons are there. Diplomatic reasons are also there, that due to Chinese presence, India also want to be present there so that it conduct itself in anti-China and it does not get suppressed by Chinese presence in the international geopolitical market, right? And third one is Sri Lanka has claimed that territory. Sri Lanka has claimed that territory which India has applied for. Therefore, India wants to be there. Therefore, these are the diplomatic reasons that India wants their presence there in the Indian Ocean for the seabed mining, which India does not have the territory for, right? This article says about this. Now, about AN Seamount. It is a source of various minerals. This can be asked in the prelims. To be very specific, this can be asked in prelims, that it is a source of cobalt, nickel and manganese. Cobalt, nickel and manganese, which is very correctly put by Manvinder Singh, that polymetallic nodules can be found from the seabed mining. So let's get to the another topic of the day. I hope you are getting some information, fruitful information from this session of Hindu. Okay, Arun Govilji has come for the political battle. This is a political news, just for the awareness. You must be knowing things, right? Okay, this is the news we need to cover here, that activists end hunger strike demanding statehood for Ladakh. That means लद्दाख के लिए स्टेटहुड की डिमांड कितने टाइम से चल रही है? वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट लद्दाख इज डिमांडिंग अ सेपरेट स्टेटहुड on its own. Now for this, climate activist Sonam Wangchuk was on the hunger strike for 21 days. You all must be knowing that. He ended his hunger strike. Now someone else, a group of women will be continuing that hunger strike for the statehood, for the demand of statehood of Ladakh. Let us discuss the statehood of Ladakh. What does that mean? Statehood of Ladakh. This demand or debate for the statehood, for separate state of Ladakh has been arised. कब से arise हुई है? Since the reorganization of Jammu Kashmir. When Jammu Kashmir was declared as a separate state and Ladakh was declared as a separate UT, right? तब से the debate has been in spark that Ladakh people, they are demanding for a separate state for Ladakh. But why separate state for Ladakh? Why separate state for Ladakh? Can anyone point out? Separate state for Ladakh, ऐसा क्यों डिमांड किया जा रहा है? Can you think of the people of Ladakh or the ethnic community that reside in Ladakh? Very correct, Saurav. Yes, Chetu, that we can expect some of the map work. Yes, for sure, map work भी important है. ठीक है. Why a separate state for Ladakh? A different ethnic group that live in the state of Ladakh. They have a different cultural identity. They have a different cultural identity, different language of their own, different living style, and therefore this demand a different approach to govern for the development, etc. Therefore these need to be preserved, and therefore the people are demanding for a separate state of Ladakh. The second point here is they are demanding a different approach of governance for them, because their ethnic group is differently owned. Therefore governance is local governance, so that they can get an autonomy. They can get an autonomy in their governance, as pointed out by someone in the comment section as well. They want a different governance, that means for local governance, so that they can ensure the autonomy in their development, and a different approach of development. They are demanding. Their different approach of development, apart from a different statehood of Ladakh. They are demanding inclusion of Ladakh in the 6th schedule. Their inclusion of the state in the 6th schedule. Now what is 6th schedule? Administration of tribal areas in the state of Assam, Tripura, Mizoram and Meghalaya, right? These are the states. They are saying that in Ladakh ko bhi 6th schedule mein include karo, and so that they get the different approaches by the government, different attention by the government, right? Yes, cultural and demographic status of Ladakh. Local ethnic groups, very good. Climate preservation also can be included in these parts, right? Okay, let's move on to the next article of the day. Okay, the very important article for this exam, this is a potential question. Sickle cell disease can be asked in the exam. Very potential question for this year. Inaccessibility and cost cripple efforts to treat sickle cell anemia or sickle cell disease. This sickle cell anemia was given huge attention in past year budget document in the government. Budget document of the government, right? What is sickle cell disease? Can anyone tell me what is sickle cell disease? इतना तो सबने पढ़ लिया होगा. Sickle cell क्या है? Sickle cell disease और sickle cell anemia, इसको हम SCD की एब्रीवेशन से राइट करेंगे. What is sickle cell disease? It is a blood disorder or inherited blood disorder. This is inherited blood disorder. That means it is a genetic disease related with blood or the amount or the treatment or the behavior of hemoglobin in a body of a person, right? This is an inherited, that means genetic blood related disorder in any person known as sickle cell anemia or sickle cell disease. But what actually is a sickle cell? In this, since it is related with blood, therefore here red blood cells, RBCs, they behave or they change their shape in a crescent format or a sickle format. Sickle shape में they convert themselves, and therefore the disease is named as sickle cell disease or sickle cell anemia, right? I hope you understand till here. And RBCs become rigid. They become rigid, and which causes pain in the body, which is unbearable, and which can lead to multiple organ failure, right? This is overall the sickle cell disease. Now in this article, what the government is trying to say, in this article the government is saying that in 2023 the government of India launched the National Sickle Cell Anemia Elimination Mission to eliminate sickle cell disease by 2047. This line in itself is very important. This can directly be asked in the exam, whether in prelims or in mains. Therefore, government has launched a mission known as National Sickle Cell Anemia, National Sickle Cell Disease Elimination. The target is, the mission was launched in 2023. The target is by 2047 we as a nation have to eliminate sickle cell disease. This is the news which is very important, and you must have understood what is sickle cell anemia, which belongs to a backward linkage to the biology. This is the current section of it. And now how the government will do it, how government will achieve this elimination of sickle cell disease, we have to understand. Government is trying to focus on various methods for the basic cure of sickle cell disease. Government is trying to take some of the measures, and this is the first year of working there. So we will start it like that. There must be some of the drug for the treatment of sickle cell disease. First of all, there must be a drug which can be used for the treatment of sickle cell disease. Let me tell you let me tell you, there is no as such a drug particularly which can fully treat sickle cell disease, because it is an inherited disease, right? Therefore, this drug can be used to reduce the pain. This drug which is used for reduce the pain, but the drug name is hydroxyurea. The drug name is hydroxyurea. This you need to remember. Hydroxyurea is a drug which is used to reduce the pain due to sickle cell anemia. But the point here is, the twist here is, there is unavailability of this drug. There is unavailability of this drug. Therefore, government is trying to include this drug in the national essential medicine list. Essential medicine list. And therefore, so that ensuring the availability of this drug in a large number. Next, the treatment for this sickle cell disease anemia is blood transfusion. ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूजन से भी ये डिसीज को कुछ हद तक ठीक किया जा सकता है. ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूजन से भी कुछ हद तक ठीक किया जा सकता है. बट अगेन द फैसिलिटी ऑफ ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूजन is not as per se available to all the levels. Is not available. Available नहीं है, सब जगह पे तो available नहीं है. For example, in remote areas there is no availability of blood transfusion. We have to move to the bigger cities, in tier 1 cities there, and to get the blood transfusion treatment, right? And the third one is bone marrow. बोन मैरो ट्रांसप्लांट नाम सुना होगा आपने, मूवीज में भी सुना होगा. Bone marrow transplant is one of the solution for this sickle cell disease treatment. But again, this is very difficult to find a proper match for the blood bone marrow, right? It is very difficult to find a proper match for the bone marrow donor, and therefore this facility is also very less available for us. Now, the current technology known as CRISPR technology, we all must have listened to, heard about CRISPR technology. That is a gene editing technology. This can be used for the sickle cell disease treatment, but research and development is going on for this CRISPR technology in the use of sickle cell treatment. Therefore, this has a potential to use for the sickle cell disease treatment. This is the article which I have discussed right now. Let us move on to the next article. This we have discussed that UNSC resolution pass हुआ है जो ceasefire करने के लिए in Gaza Strip. Okay. Next is this unemployment, a major factor in shaping the voters' behavior, voters' choice of the youth. This is somewhat political in nature, therefore I have not addressed it, but this is related with unemployment, which we have discussed on the first page. And the last article of the day is which we have discussed yesterday only. Acha, one more article which I need to you to bring focus on, that India's forex reserve rose by 32.9 billion US dollar BOP basis in April December. Now, ma'am, हमें तो ये चीज समझ में नहीं आती. What is foreign exchange reserve? What is BOP basis? This is NCRT. This is NCRT. This is NCRT. Foreign exchange reserve and BOP is related with NCRT. But now from this from this article, you only have to focus till here. You only have to focus till here, that India's foreign exchange reserves has risen. That means the trend is important, that they have increased in number, that India's foreign exchange reserve with RBI has increased. This is important. You don't have to read the whole news, the only headline is important. Next, moving on, again he is mentioning about unemployment. Unemployment is important. The last news of the day, I think. Yes, EU ask big tech firms to identify AI deepfakes ahead of elections. Now remember, हमने कल कुछ पढ़ा था EU से related, big tech firm से related. That was, what was that? Any one of you can comment that. कल हमने क्या पढ़ा था EU से related, big tech firm से related? We were talking about Digital Market Act, right? We were talking about digital market, digital economy, कि digital economy में क्या चल रहा है. We have to make some of the regulations, we have to make some of the rules and norms to regulate them in a disciplined manner so that it does not harm anyone, and there is a free market here, that any one of you, any one of us can participate in the digital market very safely. And again, EU has asked the big tech firms to identify the AI deepfakes, which can again harm the individuals, and specifically in terms of elections, क्योंकि अभी elections आ रहे हैं and उस time पे it can be misleaded or misused, right? Let us discuss what are deepfakes. What are deep fakes? डीप फेक्स क्या होता है? इट इज यूजिंग आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. यूजिंग आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, वी आर यूजिंग द टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर द जनरेशन ऑफ विजुअल और ऑडियो, विजुअल और ऑडियो कंटेंट. But the aim here is we are using it to manipulate someone or manipulate something or to mislead something, to give the fake information in the market. Therefore, deep fakes are being used. The meaning is we are using the AI technology, artificial intelligence technology, for the generation of visual or audio content. We are generating the audio and visual content. We usually generate that, but the purpose here is to manipulate or to mislead the janta or mislead the population here, right? Examples क्या हो सकते हैं इसके? What can be the example? अच्छा, बहुत सारी videos और photos जो हैं वायरल हो रही है, ठीक है. वॉइस भी हम आर्टिफिशियली क्रिएट कर पा रहे हैं, इमेजेस भी हम आर्टिफिशियली क्रिएट कर पा रहे हैं. दीज आर ऑल द इफेक्ट्स ऑफ डीप फेक्स. दीज आर ऑल द इफेक्ट्स ऑफ डीप फेक, ऑल द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ डीप फेक्स, ठीक है. एंड द अथॉरिटी, दैट मीन्स इन इंडिया, दैट मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, दैट इज MITI, Ministry of Information Technology, is given the regulations, they has given the warnings to the multiple big tech companies which are participating here to make sure that it does not harm the individuals that are the stakeholder of the that using a platform, right? This is the article, last article of the day. That's it from my side today. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. ठीक है. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, thank you from my side. Thank you for having me. I hope I have contributed positively in your preparation, and keep working hard. We'll see you tomorrow 9 a.m. Thank you.